We'll call the meeting to order at 5:34. We have all board members in attendance, including our student board member. Public comments, closed session. Pursuant to board policy number 2350, public comment may be limited to 3 minutes per person or 30 minutes per topic. All speakers who would like to comment regarding a matter on the meeting agenda must submit a public comment card to the board president or recording secretary prior to the point in the meeting at which the agenda item is called. All speakers who would like to comment regarding a matter not on the meeting agenda must submit a public comment card to the board president or recording secretary prior to the point in the meeting for open forum on non-agenda items. Public comment cards are available at the information table at the rear of the boardroom, from the recording secretary, or online. We ask that all speakers come to the podium to address the board. Thank you. We have two speakers. First, I'd like to call on Ms. Pamela Ford.
Oops. Good evening, board members, Dr. Zealot, and distinguished guests. What I'm about to do is new for me. I'm speaking tonight regarding the evaluation of Superintendent President Dr. Jennifer Zealot. We are approaching a few weeks from a year that Dr. Zealot has begun her tenure here at Antelope Valley College. And there has been change that has occurred on this campus and also within myself due to Dr. Zealot and her and my field reps' persistence in building relationships, which has had an overarching impact on the things that I do and in negotiations. It is difficult to give a complete analysis of her as her work as president because, to be fair, the majority of her time has been spent putting out fires that existed prior to her arrival here at AVC. So as you go about the business of evaluating her, I would ask that you make that a large part of your consideration. With the fire slowly burning down to scattered flames, I'm hoping with the issues of her predecessor being slowly raked away, that we will all get a true assessment of what she can do without all of the previous negativity. You see, so much is going on. It's hard to estimate what becomes a priority because contracts need to be settled, remaining hotspots on the campus need addressing, legal charges need to be put to bed, yet the work of the district needs to proceed. So it is going to be exciting and a nail biter to see what she has in store for us in the coming year, with a fully functioning cabinet and things settled so she can focus on her goals and yours. I'm not reserving my opinion. I just know that when you walk into things unsettled and you don't know where the bones are buried or where the arrows are coming from, you first have to seek out your own path and deal with what is in front of you and worry about the rest later. She's built some bridges that I never thought would exist. She's mended some fences that I never thought possible. I think her greatest quality is that she is willing and open to communication and is trying to fix what is broken without creating turmoil. And I think she's not afraid to own or acknowledge when she makes mistakes. And she has a commitment always to doing better. And if I've heard this once, I've heard it 1,000 times. She's intentional with her words. I've been willing to give her a chance, even though it has created much angst for my group. I think they've gotten to where they don't trust me. But I have wanted to give her a fair shake and see how things work. Doing things a new way. I hope my group will soon come to understand my decision, because right now they think I'm holding back. But the truth is, I'm working hard to eliminate as best as I can any undue negativity. So if for now I have to take the hits, that's fine. I think it'll all come out in the wash soon. From what I've seen so far, if she charts her course based on what she has accomplished so far, we should have a lot of positive experiences ahead of us. At least that's my hope. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ford. I'd like to call on Tamira Palmetto.
Hey there, good evening, board, Dr. Zealot. This huge crow that's here. No, I just wanted to speak tonight on the evaluation of our superintendent, president, Dr. Zealot. I was kind of thrown in the pool this past semester, into the deep end, and she has been amazing. I don't have to tell you what it was like on this campus with the past administration. Many of you were here. The whole feeling on campus has changed. The entire atmosphere has changed. There's a lot of positivity. There's trust. Working with Dr. Zealot has really been a breath of fresh air. She really does mean that the door is open. You can email her, you can call her, you can have a conversation with her, and you don't have to agree with her. And it's not a thing. You can actually have a normal conversation, not completely agree, and come back and try to figure out a solution, which is kind of how normal people behave. It's wonderful. So I can't tell you how much I feel she has changed our campus for the better. I can't say enough good about the work that she has done, how supportive she has been for all of us, really. And I don't know. I'm hoping she stays a long time. So make it happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Palmetto. Okay, we will convene now to close session. We will reconvene to public session at 6:33. Attendance, we have all board members in attendance and our student board member. Pledge of Allegiance. Ms. Harvey, would you please lead us in the pledge?
Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the board agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Advice?
I approve.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Public comments. All right. Public comment announcement. Pursuant to board policy number 2350, public comment may be limited to 3 minutes per person or 30 minutes per topic. All speakers who would like to comment regarding a matter on the meeting agenda must submit a public comment card to the board president or recording secretary prior to the point in the meeting at which the agenda item is called. All speakers who would like to comment regarding a matter not on the meeting agenda must submit a public comment card to the board president or recording secretary prior to the point in the meeting for open forum on non-agenda items. Public comment cards are available at the information table at the rear of the boardroom from the recording secretary or online. We ask that all speakers come to the podium to address the board. Thank you. We have no comments this evening. All right, I have a couple things to report out of closed session. Let's see, on a motion made by Steve Buffalo, seconded by Michelle Harvey, with a 4-1 vote, the board approved the Assistant Superintendent, Vice President of Human Resources Employment contract for Dr. Lauren Helsper for the term of June 13th, 2023 through June 30th, 2026. Is Lauren here? Lauren, welcome. Congratulations. Okay, on a motion made by Michael Adams, seconded by Steve Buffalo, with a 4-1 vote, the board approved the Assistant Superintendent, Vice President of Academic Affairs Employment contract for Dr. Kathy Bakit for the term July 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2026. Congratulations and welcome. Okay, item 4.2, there is no report, no action taken. 4.3, conference with labor negotiator, no action taken, no report. And on 4.4, there was actually no action, but staff was given direction on how to proceed. Okay. Employee recognition, approval of resolution number 22-23/20, recognizing Antelope Valley College retirees. Dr. Sellett.
The certificate of resolution reads as follows. Whereas the Antelope Valley Community College District fulfills its mission to the community through the strength of its employees, and whereas Antelope Valley College has thrived throughout its 93-year history because of the talent, skill, professionalism, and compassion of its faculty and staff, and whereas Antelope Valley College is recognized as a leader and innovator on state, regional, and national platforms, and whereas Antelope Valley College enjoys the loyalty and dedication of its employees serving students and the community, and whereas Antelope Valley College has been well served by the following individuals: Nancy Blundell from 2012 to 2023, Dana Carroll from 2015 to 2022, Janet Chapman, 1998 through 2022, Scott Covell, 1995 through 2022, Mary Crenshaw, 2006 through 2022, Yvette Cruzalegui, 2006 through 2023, Lisa Diaz, 1998 through 2022, Kathy Durrett, 1996 through 2023, Luis Echeverria, 1998 through 2023, Crystal Ellis, 2000 through 2022, Richard Fleischman, 2016 through 2023, Larry Gordon, 1999 through 2022, Glenn Holler, 1993 through 2023, Susan Herman, 2015 through 2023, Willard Howard, 2020 through 2022, Johnette Layton, 1987 through 2023, Robert Lydiard, 2016 through 2022, Luis Lucero, 1989 through 2023, Joyce Maiden, 2016 through 2023, Andrea Sanders, 1996 through 2022, Kimberly Sinnott, 2017 through 2023, Richard Shaw, 2013 through 2023, Rich Sim, 1967 through 2023, James Yoakum, 2001 through 2022, representing collectively 471 years of unselfish dedication. Now therefore be it resolved by the Antelope Valley College Board of Trustees that each of the aforementioned is recognized and congratulated for their outstanding service, and further be it resolved that each of the aforementioned is thanked for their service, and with its deepest gratitude, the Board of Trustees wishes them every happiness in their respective retirements. Adopted this 12th day of June, 2023.
Board members, do I have a motion to approve resolution number 22-23?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Advice?
I approve.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Dr. Sullett, would you like me to invite all the retirees up?
Please, if retirees who are present in the audience, please come up to the stage, and we would like to give you a certificate and a picture. And we would like for the Board of Trustees to come up with you and take a photograph, and our student trustee as well. So please join us up on the stage.
Thank you, Sammy. Thank you.
Okay, presentations, annual report of the Retirement Board of Authority, RBOA. Mr. Brar, do you want to introduce our presenter?
Good evening, members of the Board of Trustees, President Zealot, student board member. To present the RBOA annual report, we have with us today Scott Rankin from Benefit Trust Company, Mark Payne from Morgan Stanley, and Alden Yee from Keenan Financial Services.
Good evening. That was remarkable. These retirees, 1967, really, I was like 5 years old in 1967, and I have no hair left. So these are amazing accomplishments. But it was for these retirees and hundreds of others that back in 2015, the district established the Public Entity Investment Trust solely for the purpose of providing a resource to pay for benefits for retirees, health and welfare benefits for retirees. The district back at that time had the foresight of establishing a method whereby regular savings and investment could occur to provide for those future benefits. We are the team that was hired at that time to provide the program. There is a slideshow. I don't even know who's running the slide machine.
I think we are here.
Oh, are we? Oh, awesome. Awesome. Okay. So my name is Scott Rankin. I'm with Benefit Trust Company. Mark Payne is with Morgan Stanley. He's my investment advisor, and Alden Yee's with Keenan Financial Services. And together we're going to kind of tag team a short presentation. As a reminder, the district established this trust back in 2015, and it did so by first establishing a board of authority, retirement board of authority. On this board today, the three members are Michael Adams, Shaminder Brar, and Sarah Johnston. We've had some turnover on this board over the course of the last 8 years, but the purpose, please, the purpose of the board is basically to provide oversight. It was recognized back in 2015 that no one on your staff really had fiduciary expertise to operate a trust in the manner that it needed to be operated so as to maintain both state law compliance, federal compliance, and compliance with the Governmental Accounting Standard Board's accounting rules. So that's why we were initially hired, so that we could kind of be the back office for this program. The Board of Authority as it sits was first established to create the program. And so we worked with them to create a trust agreement and basically a background of governing documents that would govern the process moving forward. And then as time goes on, we meet with this board twice a year in order to bring forth valid and needed information so that oversight can be provided. In other words, we don't operate in a vacuum. Ultimately, we operate at the pleasure of this board, and we provide sufficient information throughout the course of the year that they can judge our performance and make decisions about how the trust should go. So the team, again, Keenan Financial Services is the program sponsor. They were the ones that first decided that there was a need for such a program back in 2005 when the Governmental Accounting Standards Board was creating rules that required for a different type of accounting for this type of benefit. And so today, not only do they serve as a program sponsor, but they do basically the administrative work. They handle what we call the comprehensive compliance plan, which is an archive of documentation that goes deep into your benefit programs and even copies of collective bargaining agreements, actuarial studies, account statements, performance reports, everything to do with the program so that it's all kept in one space, which is important for you going forward because as you're going out to sell bonds and things like that, regulators want access to that information. And it's very helpful to have that in one place. They coordinate all of that and they do a great job with that. Benefit Trust Company is a trust company based in Overland Park, Kansas. And we were established many years ago to provide unique types of fiduciary services. And this ended up being one of them. Interestingly enough, under California law, this type of program is most closely aligned with the rules that you would see under ERISA, which is the Employee Retirement and Income Security Act, which private companies operate under. So the fiduciary rules are very strict, and that's our expertise. And then in that regard, as a discretionary trustee, we're ultimately responsible for the management of the portfolio, the investment portfolio. We did a search and hired Morgan Stanley many years ago to advise us in that regard. So I just wanted to kind of bring you up to speed and kind of remind you as to what the program was all about. The numbers you see in front of you here are basically the numbers from the calendar year of 2022. You finished the year at a market value of 8.3 million. You made over $380,000 worth in contributions during the course of the year. You did suffer some market losses last year. It was a tough market, and Mark's going to speak to that here in a moment. And you can see here that our services collectively cost almost $70,000. So you ended at the year at 8.3 million, but you're making a good comeback this year. You're up past 8.6 million, past May 31st, 2023, which markets do seem to be turning around, and Mark's going to talk about that here in a moment as well. And then the page that nobody wants to look at is the time-weighted return net of fees for the 2022 calendar year. And it was a very, very difficult year. I think the thing that our board members, we try to provide education to all of our boards across the state that you don't look at these things in a vacuum, but you take things over time. This is a long-term investment. It was established to provide a source of funding for retiree benefits over the course of 30 or more years. So 1 year taken at by itself is difficult to look at, but when you take it in the context of a longer term investment process and the success that this trust particularly has experienced over the course of the last 8 years, not including that year, it's an easier, putting things in that context brings things to a better understanding as to what we're trying to accomplish. So at this point, I'm going to pitch it to Mark for a minute to talk a little bit about what the markets did in 2022 and where we see things going in 23. And then Alden will take over to talk about a few administrative items. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. I might have to move this up just a smidge here. I'll try to be brief. Just wanted to provide a quick market update on what happened in 2022. Tough year, obviously, for stocks and bonds. The real source started at the end of 2021. This is when we started to see higher inflation. The Federal Reserve kept coming out and saying inflation is transitory, it's supply chain issues. They waited way too long. And inflation is a little bit like a snowball going downhill. If you don't catch it early, it's really hard to catch later. And that's exactly what happened. So last June of 2022, we got a 40-year high inflation reading of 9.1%. And you can't have that. The economy just doesn't work. So what the Federal Reserve does is they use their tools to bring down inflation at all costs. So they raised the Fed funds overnight rate from 0 up to 5%. They just raised again in May. So up to 5% in a matter of about 16 months. So what that does is stock valuations come down and also bonds sell off. It works. I mean, raising rates that much does slow down the economy, and inflation is coming down. We get a report tomorrow at 5 a.m. for the month of May. We're hoping that's going to be somewhere in the low 4s. So coming down from 9.1 down to 4. Now going forward, and so this year, 2023 has actually been good. So the S&P 500 up as of today was 13.5% positive. Bonds are up a few percent. So we just met with the retirement board earlier today, and your account's up about 4.5% this year. We're really optimistic about bonds. The yield to maturity of your bond funds, if rates just stay right where they are, is about 6 to 7%. So given how high rates are and the sell-off last year, it's very realistic to get mid-single digits just in bonds. That's all for the market update. Just wanted to give a quick overview. I'm sure Michael could recap a little more of the meeting we had earlier. I'll pass it to lots of numbers.
Thank you, Mark. I'm going to have to adjust this one down. That's right. Just like that. So I'm here to report on some of the administrative and compliance aspects around the trust, and beginning with the public entity investment audit. So each year, this plan is audited. The last audit was performed on June 30th of 2022 by CWL. And the purpose of this audit is to ensure that the investment valuations are fair and correct, to review the investment goals and policies of the trust, and to ensure that it is compliant under GASB 7475. Upon completion of the audit, CWL did not find any deficiencies and did not have any recommendations to Antelope Valley College to improve the process. It basically was a clean audit. Moving on to the accomplishments of 2020, and then just capping it out with what to expect going forward. So in 2020, the college and the Keenan team have met to review the investment policies and goals to ensure compliance with the benefit trust plan document and agreement. Keenan has provided the written summary of the substantive plan for the 2021-2022 plan year. As Scott mentioned, that is a blueprint where all documentation around the different bargaining agreements, how these benefits work, is compiled inside that document and delivered to the college, so that in the event that this plan were to be audited, that it is all there in one place. Keenan and the college have met semi-annually through the Retirement Board of Authority to ensure that not only the investment goals and the funding goals of the colleges are being met, but also to establish what the ongoing funding amounts are. And in 2022, not only did the college continue the schedule funding amount of $387,000, in February of 22, the college actually contributed a one-time amount equivalent to just over $5 million, bringing this trust to fully funded status as of the February 22 actuarial report. So it was fully funded. Moving forward to goals, Keenan will continue to deliver the substantive plan each year. Also, the Retirement Board of Authority will continue to meet to discuss the investment goals of the trust and also to maintain the fully funded status on a go-forward basis. With that, I'd like to thank everybody for their time and open it up for any questions.
No questions. I just want to say that I've really had a good time working with all of our consultants over the last 8 years. Mark and Aldner are new, but Scott, we've been together, I guess, for 8 years. So this group has always done very well. And despite the fact that last year's market hit us hard, the fund continues to grow. So I'm very happy with our consultants and the information they bring us every 6 months or so. And Shami doing a great job.
Thank you.
Very much. Thank you all.
Twelve point two, presentation of 23-24 tentative budget. Mr. Brar.
Good evening again, Board of Trustees, President Zealot, Student Board Member. Tonight I'm presenting the 23-24 tentative budget report. The topics discussed in this presentation include highlights from the Governor's May revise, a budget timeline, the student-centered funding formula, an overview of HERF, the 22-23 estimated actuals, an overview of funding by program, assumptions that went into the preparation of the tentative budget, and the 23-24 tentative budget itself. The tentative budget includes updates from the governor's May revise. For California community colleges, this year's budget includes $678 million in ongoing funding to provide a 8.22% cost of living adjustment for the student-centered funding formula. The COLA is provided for other restricted programs as well, including EOPS, DSPS, CalWorks, and others. Total ongoing funding in the May revise is $746.1 million. One-time funding is cut substantially from the prior year allocation and from the January proposed. Reductions to one-time spending total $680 million, with deferred maintenance for the prior year being reduced by $452 million, and the COVID recovery block grant allocation being reduced by $345 million. The May revise provides an additional $100 million to the system to support retention and enrollment. As part of the Budget Act of 2021, the state created the Higher Education Student Housing Grant Program. The program was to receive funding over 3 years for 3 rounds of grants, with $750 million one time expected in 23-24. The May revision proposes allocating $450 million, a significant reduction for 23-24, with a commitment to provide $95.4 million in 24-25. AVC submitted a housing application totaling $60.7 million, which called for 300 beds. Our application is currently 9th on the scored list for fiscal year 23-24. In support of the multi-year roadmap, the May revision includes a proposal to increase flexibility in the spending of student equity and achievement program funds, student financial aid administration, and student mental health resources. Under the proposal, the Chancellor's Office would assess district-level progress in meeting 5 of the roadmap goals as selected by the Chancellor's Office. More information on this flexibility should be forthcoming. Additional information from the May revise is included here. There's a projected $31 billion deficit as part of this budget. The Legislative Analyst's Office expressed concerns about the budget and recommended dipping into the reserves. The current hold harmless provision sunsets in fiscal year 24-25, and a new funding floor goes into effect in fiscal year 25-26. And the multi-year roadmap continues to shape the budget. Shown here is an illustration of the state budget development process and a calendar. As you can see, the legislature must pass a balanced budget by June 15th, after which the budget goes to the governor for signature. Standard financial reporting deadlines are in effect, and the district anticipates no issue meeting those requirements. The adopted budget needs to be made public by September 30th, and it needs to be submitted to the Chancellor's Office by December 31st. Like I said, we see no issue in meeting those timelines. Shown here is additional information on the student-centered funding formula, which calculates apportionments. It uses the split 70-20-10. 70% is based on FTES. The supplemental allocation makes up 20%, and student success allocation makes up 10%. The emergency conditions allowance sunsets in 22-23, and again, 24-25 will be the final year of hold harmless, and a new funding floor will be established. Shown here are the allocations for the higher HER funds, higher education emergency relief funds, broken down by institutional aid, minority serving institution aid, and student aid. All of the student aid was distributed to students. Some of the institutional aid was also distributed to students through a a program where they enrolled in FTES that was to help support enrollment and the effects of COVID-19 on enrollment. And the district is currently in the process of submitting or completing and submitting a no-cost extension for some of the remaining funds and spending down those last bit of her funds. Then moving on to estimated actuals, shown here are the fiscal 22-23 estimated actuals. We began fiscal year 22-23 with a fund balance of 42.1 million. Revenue is projected to come in at 109.1 million. Expenditures and other outgoing costs are projected to be 94.8 million, leaving an ending fund balance of 56.4 million. Assignments include capital projects protection, reserve for potential stabilization, IT reserve, and others. After assignments, the unassigned ending fund balance is projected to be 25.7 million, equating to a reserve of 29%. The 22-23 general fund revenue, which includes both restricted and unrestricted sources, is projected to be 152.2 million, of which 73% is state revenue, 12% is federal, and 15% is local revenue. The fiscal year 22-23 general fund expenditures totaled 137.6 million. The percentage breakdown between the categories is shown on the slide. Overall, salaries and benefits make up 58% of expenditures, which is lower than typical due to one-time COVID funds, which are included in other outgo. Shown here is a slide showing all funds, beginning balances, revenue, expenditures, surplus deficit for each of the funding sources. Revenues total 281.9 million. Expenditures are projected to come in at 236.4 million, resulting in a surplus of 45.5 million due to Measure AB funds in Fund 42. The following 4 slides show state funding by program in millions. This has been included for information purposes. Please feel free to look through this for any specific programs that you might have questions about. Next, we have the budget assumptions that were used to develop the fiscal year 23-24 tentative budget. The budget includes, again, it includes information from the governor's May revise. In fiscal year 23-24, the district will be in stability, meaning that it will be funded based on prior year total computational revenue with the current year COLA applied. The COLA of 8.22% has been assumed for this budget. A deficit factor of 1.5% is being used. ECA is not in effect in the budget year. Fiscal year 22-23 FTES are estimated to be 8,999 based on P2 reporting. The budget includes step and column increases and an increase in the employer contribution rate for CalPERS. There is no change to workers' comp, and resource allocation funding is included in this budget. The 23-24 tentative budget for unrestricted general fund has a beginning fund balance of 56.4 million. Revenue is projected to total 105.3 million. And expenditures and other outgo are projected to be 91.7 million, leaving an ending fund balance of 70 million. Assignments again include capital projects protection, reserve for pension stabilization, IT reserve, and others. After assignments, the unassigned ending fund balance is projected to be 39.2 million, equating to a reserve of 41.4%. In 23-24, general fund revenue, which includes both unrestricted and restricted funds, is projected to be 161.3 million, of which 83% is state revenue, 7% is federal revenue, and 10% is local revenue. 23-24 budget general fund expenditures total 147.7 million, and the percentage breakdown between the categories is shown on the slide. Overall, salaries and benefits make up 57% of expenditures and other outgo. In the 23-24 tentative budget for all funds, revenues total 239.1 million. And expenditures are budgeted to be 308.2 million, resulting in a deficit of 69.1 million, due again to Measure AV funds being budgeted in full in Fund 42. And that is the tentative budget presentation. Any questions?
I have a question, Sharma. Actually, I have two easy ones for you. First of all, depending on who you talk to, there is speculation, I guess is the best word to use, that we could be in a recession 23, 24. Assuming that those that thought process could be accurate, how is that going to impact the cash flow at AVC? Are we going to be dire?
Our ending fund balance is sufficient. It's strong. Our reserves are strong. So even if there is a recession, and again, cash flow, you're absolutely right, Trustee Gaines, that's the biggest issue, because we've seen the impact of deferrals and not receiving our funds on time from the state. So the district did approve and pass a revision to BP 6200 to maintain a 17% reserve. And that 17% reserve assures that 2 months of our operating expenditures are covered. Our reserve is higher than 17%, so we're in a strong position.
And just one more quick question from me. 8.22 COLA for the 23-24 year. Can you elaborate if any of that 8.22 COLA is predicated on one-time funds?
Our understanding is that it is not. Now, the Legislative Analyst's Office was recommending a COLA in the 5% range, right? So this is significantly higher, but these are ongoing funds at this time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Shami, I have a question. Is the 29% reserve, is that the number that we've selected, and is that 17% state mandate?
No, the 17% is a requirement for the emergency conditions allowance. So it was mandated by the state to enter into emergency conditions allowance and to get funded in the 22-23 year at the 18-19 FTES level. So that's really that enrollment level is really what has been funding the college and what's allowed us to build up that surplus year over year. And so if we wanted to receive that funding, we needed to have a minimum reserve of 17%. And so that's why we passed that. So our 29% exceeds that level.
Yes.
But
And just one other question. Are you expecting the state to rescind any COVID funds?
the latest update was today, the joint budget that was passed by the Assembly and the Senate actually includes those funds, but the governor's proposal included a reduction of those funds for the COVID-19 recovery block grant. We are hoping that through negotiations, none of that is rescinded. That and the deferred maintenance, they're very important to us, and we're looking forward to receiving them in full.
Good evening, Mr. Vice President. I have a couple of questions. We have an outlay of $38 million in financial aid every year. Where does that money come from for financial aid?
Financial aid funding comes from various sources. If we're looking at are we looking at the PERF funding? That was a part of the CARES Act that was passed by Congress. So that we functioned as a pass-through to distribute that funding to students.
So we're talking about $38 million every year that's spent for financial aid. That's what I'm speaking about.
I don't have the amounts, but funding for student aid comes from various sources, federal government.
Oh, okay. At the State of the College address, you mentioned that whether we got the funding from the state for the student housing, we were going to still build it. What did you mean by that?
What I meant is we are still going to pursue that project, right? We are going to look for additional funding, and we do continue to look for funding to support housing needs for our students.
Okay, one more question.
Sure.
You have things bunched up in the budget Does the board have line item veto on some of these things that we can pull them out of groups? If you have things allocated, can the board pull them out and not fund them?
I do not believe there is a line item veto on this budget.
Okay.
So the budget is formed through a collaborative process. We use participatory governance. And so Mr. Berard does not sit in his office and singularly, it's done collaboratively through our planning and budget process, which includes all of our constituent groups. And so there's no single entity that has a line item veto.
Thank you all.
Does anybody else have a question? I have, okay, never mind. It wasn't important. No, biggie. I was just going to ask one more thing about the block grant that you mentioned, that there is some talk that there may be some funds pulled back from that block grant. Shami, do you believe that, have we been fully funded for that block grant?
We have not received all of the funds, but we have encumbered funds. We've used those funds, for example, to write off student debt from prior to 2019. So we had a plan to use those funds. Those funds were less restrictive than the HERF funds. So they were a part of our planning process. And so now for the state to rescind those or withdraw those, that is going to impact our operations.
Okay, because what I heard from the LAO was that they would not actually rescind the funds that we've received so far, but they would, in next year's funding, they would remove that amount.
And that is typically what they do. And
Okay.
we, from our end, we had allocated all of those funds. And so we, either through journals or through expenditures, we had a plan for all of that funding.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, 12.3, presentation of Measure AV Citizens Oversight Committee Annual Report. Mr. Mark Hemstreet.
Yes, that would be correct. So the Measure AV Bond measure has a oversight committee. It's made up of 8 members. We have Fred Thompson, who represents our senior citizens organization, Jennifer Alden, who represents our business community, Judy Fry with our Antelope Valley College Foundation, Brett Banks from our taxpayers organizations, Diana Parasoli with our Antelope Valley College student representative. We have Howard Harris, Rooker Harris, and myself, Mark Hemstreet, as members at large for the community. The Oversight Committee has reviewed the annual audit for the years 2021 to 2022 and has confirmed that there were not any negative audit findings and that the money was spent in compliance with AV measure ballot and that no bond proceeds were used unlawfully for teacher or administrative salaries. Expenditures as of April 30th of 2023 amounted to $230 million, $718,719, which leaves us with an unspent amount still remaining of $119,281,281. We have 17 current projects for the bond measure. And just a quick update, the Palmdale Campus Center expansion was completed using $6,234 million. Our outdoor fitness center was completed using $511,000. The Central Plant Solar and Palmdale payoff was completed using $25,782,000. Swing Space 1 was completed using $9,772,000. Our campus security station was completed using $8,701,000. Sage Hall was completed using $27,822,000. And our getting very close to completed, so we call it our phase out phase. Right now, we have our the 30th, our main campus entrance on J12 and 30th. That's our closeout phase, and it's currently at $1,544,000. Our Marauder Complex Field House is currently at $11,681,000. Discovery Lab, almost complete, and it is at $25,149,000. Student Service Building closeout phase, we're currently at $42,680,000. Partially completed. We have the investment for future capital improvements. We're at $24,500,000. We are at campus infrastructure, partially completed at $22,691,000. We have information technology, partially completed at $4,245,000. Planning and general conditions, partially completed at $6,339,000. And then we have 2 in construction. We have the Swing Space 2 in construction with $4,436,000 spent. And we have the Cedar Hall, which we just broke ground just last Thursday, in construction at $4,655,000. And the last building is the Commons Building, which is still in the bidding process, and it's at $2,823,000. And all I can say is the vision of this board to transform this universe, to transform this college into a beautiful campus that will go into well into the 21st century is a great thing, and we're all proud of us for doing it. So thank you. And that concludes my report.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, board members, do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda? Any discussion? Advice?
I approve.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, action items 14.1, the 22-23 Board of Trustees self-evaluation. I believe board members, everyone received a copy of the self-evaluation. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
All right, I'd like to call for some discussion, board members. I think this, taking an in-depth look at this self-evaluation of our board members provides us an opportunity to improve in areas that we may have found that one or several of board members may think it's an area of growth for us. So, Mr. Buffalo, you're on the end down there. Would you like to start? Is there anything that was of concern to you in the self-evaluation?
Evaluation, you can see that I think everybody in the board feels 4 of 5 board members are doing well, and we have a 5th board member who's taking a different approach. That is concerning, being on this board for so long, because most of the time the board works together to reach solutions to problems. And I think also, which is concerning, is when a board member makes accusations against the board or other board members and does it in a letter to the Antelope Valley Press indicating we've done something illegal or unethical, that's a problem. And I think also a continuation of debate over the bond, which was passed in 2016, is not legitimate anymore. You have to move on from that. Voters passed it overwhelmingly, and we need to fulfill it. And we don't need to keep going back and arguing about that particular thing. And in addition, I am concerned with how some staff, including our president, have been treated with regards to certain accusations that have been made, because policy doesn't allow this board member to do what he wants to do. So I would say those are concerns, and I think we need to be aware of those. The board member needs to be aware of it. I think he is. And hopefully we can correct those and move forward in a positive manner. That would be all I have to say right now.
Thank you, Mr. Buffalo. Mr. Reeves?
Yes, Madam President. I wanted to know who wrote the summary, on page 23 of the report. The editorial remark. That's the back of it, the last page. They have Q11, what are some areas when the board could improve? There's a statement on the back there.
So that's a collection of all of the comments that were submitted by individual board members. That is not an editorial summation.
It said I rated all areas. Is that you, President? Gillette?
I did not take this survey, sir. I'm not a board member.
Oh, you didn't. Well, who put I rated all areas of evaluation? If you didn't write it, who did? Somebody had to write it.
I did.
You did? Okay. For the record, are you guys, I want you to say publicly, you are talking about me, right, Mike?
I don't have to say who I'm talking about, but this is a board evaluation which can be phrased in any way we want.
Well, if you make an accusation about someone, you should say it to their face.
I think I've been clear in the past during previous discussions that I disagree with the way you handle yourself on the board.
Okay, well, I appreciate that. So I take it that these comments, which are legally offensive and could be considered defamation, are made by this board against this board member. Is that correct?
Your name is not mentioned in those comments.
Well, it's pretty obvious who you're talking about because I'm the only one that challenges a lot of things that go on here, right? So why don't you come out and say it's me, and then we can go to court and have a judge talk about it.
Mr. Reeves, in terms of the board self-evaluation, each board member is not only entitled to, but they're obligated to provide their candid assessment of what they believe the board needs to work on.
Well, counsel, we need to see what the Brown Act and what the DA says about naming a specific board member and criticize them in public.
Well, sir, there were no names. You've asked, and a board member has indicated that they're not responsible to tell you. And
Because somebody is doing their elected duty as a board member and does not agree with you all the time, you feel that you can make critical remarks like this.
well,
Now, you want to tell, your board want to tell the public how you acted toward me during the closed session, which is indicative of the way you talked to me, because I have a different opinion.
Mr. Reeves, what
Is
happens
that
in
right?
closed session, what happens in closed session, other than what's agendized and to be reported out, is not for public to be reported out.
Well,
If it-
if you want to make a comment about me, I'm like this. If I have something to say to you, I say it to your face. I don't say it on evaluation and hide behind other people.
If those are your opinions that in terms of this, but in terms of having a public debate regarding the opinions of other board members,
Well,
I
you're
would say-
making a comment and criticizing the board member, so you tell them not to make comments about a fellow board member because they disagree with them.
Sir, you're doing the exact same thing that you're asking that other folks not do. I think that the information is meant to be constructive. You take the information for on its face value if you believe that things pertain to you personally, even though there's no mention of your name in the report. That's up to you.
Counsel, I think you should just be quiet because you're just making it
A
more
point of
difficult.
order, sir. Point of order.
So if in terms of if you have anything else that you would like to share with regard to the board's report, you are free to do so, sir. But this is not, it is not appropriate for you to get into a debate regarding the different comments or the concerns that others have raised any more than anyone would debate the comments and concerns that you had. Nor should any employee or member of the board be attacked, yourself included.
I think it's incumbent upon board members to treat all members of the public as well as staff in a courteous and responsible and respectful fashion. And that has not always been the case with certain board members, with staff members. And I think we just saw a little bit of that in action. We set the tone. We're to be professional. We're to be, we can have opinions and we can express those opinions as board members, but as a board member, we have a little piece of paper right here that says, once a board makes a decision, all board members support that decision publicly and privately. That's not always been the case. All participants come prepared for every board meeting. That's not always been the case. The board president is a spokesperson for the board. Individual board members must make it clear that their opinions are their own and not that of the board or the college. That has not always been the case. Demonstrate open and honest communication amongst one another and between board and the superintendent and president. I think we've been pretty honest amongst ourselves. And listen with intent to understand why an action is being taken. I think that sometimes that does not happen either. So take the board evaluation for what it's worth. You can take it for whatever you feel it's worth, but it's an opinion piece among all 5 board members, and you can't deny that board members have an opinion.
Yes, I think it's incumbent upon me to share that these were individual evaluations for the board. We did not evaluate each other. Therefore, if 4 members are saying the same thing, then maybe that's not a point of arguing. Maybe it's a conversation and something to be aware of. I know in my evaluation that I put that we could do a better job of working together because I believe that's true. And we can do a better job of understanding the issues before us through our research and grading. So thank you.
Thank you. I just want to piggyback on Mr. Adams. He read for us our current board norms that we as a board created, if my memory serves me right, on January 9th of 2023. And there were 5 board norms that we vowed as a board that we would really truly do our best to follow this year. And I have to say that for the most part, there's been violation probably for each and every one of these at some point in time. I also am concerned because when we make public comments on a, let's say a Facebook platform, and we state something like, I am the only board member who attended such and such an event. Trust me, there are many, many days that we all can attend various events here. And for some of us, we have jobs. We really have to pick and choose which events we can attend, and we have to have prior notice to be able to calendar those events. But to go on a public forum such as Facebook and say, I'm the only board member who was there, I think it's a slap in the face to your colleagues on this board, who have many of which have served on this board for many years and are doing their very, very best. I'm going to talk about myself. I happen to have a job. I am a superintendent. I have 400 some employees, and that may not be a lot to some people, but it's 400 some employees. There are events I cannot make, but I do my very best to attend every single time. Do I need a colleague of mine going on Facebook and broadcasting they were the only one in attendance? I don't think so. I find it highly unprofessional. And all I'm saying is this is an area that we as a board are we here to support each other? We are a team. What does a team mean? We're working interdependently for the good of this college. And if some of us on the board don't see that, then we can never be a team. So I ask that before we branch out, we all want to work together. We were all publicly elected to these positions. All I'm saying is as we move forward, let's please try to follow our norms. Let's give this lady that we hired with a 5-0 vote the respect and the dignity that comes with her position and the respect and dignity that she has so much earned this past year. She did. I'm going to say it. Quote me. She walked into a shit show. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And she has already started to turn that around. So please, whether we're emailing her, whether we're talking to her, she deserves our very best. If we have a problem with her, we'll deal with it in closed session. But for the most part, when we're emailing and things, it's not who we are as a board. We've never in my 10 years on this board acted or behaved in that manner. And I hope that as we move forward next month, we really review these and let's all just reflect on our own personal agenda, why we're here to, and I hope it all boils down to serve the students in the community of the Antelope Valley, period. Thank you.
Microphone.
Yes, I have a motion and a second. Do any advice for the self-evaluation?
I approve.
All those in favor?
No.
Motion carries 4-1. All right, 4.2. Approval of resolution number 222319 of the Board of Trustees regarding compensation for absence for Michael Adams. And Michael, we'll ask you to please abstain from voting. Do I have a motion?
Some second.
Any discussion? Advice?
I approve.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0, right? Okay. Approval of resolution 22-2324, authorizing an increase to the 23-24 GAN limit. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Advice?
I approve.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. 14.4, approval of resolution number 2223, approving the fiscal year 23-24 education protection account EPA spending plan. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Any discussion? Advice?
I approve.
Motion carries. 14.5, approval of resolution. I'm sorry. I didn't take the student trustee.
You did.
You did.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 14.5, approval of resolution 2223, approving the restriction of funds for the certification of participation net debt service. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Any discussion? Advice?
I approve.
All those in favor?
Aye.
14.6, approval of the 23-24 tentative budget. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Any discussion? Advice?
I approve.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. 14.7, approval to extend contract with Keenan and Associates for the Futurist Public Entity Investment Trust Program through June 30th, 2024. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Any discussion? Advice?
I approve.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. 14.8, approval of memorandum of understanding between Antelope Valley Community College Federation of Classified Employees and Antelope Valley College Federation of Teachers reinstatement of winter intercession and 24-25 academic calendar. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Any discussion? Advice?
I approve.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. 14.9, approval of memorandum of understanding between Antelope Valley Community College District and Antelope Valley College Federation of Teachers for faculty evaluations. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Any discussion? Advice?
I approve.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. 14.10, approval of memorandum of understanding between Antelope Valley College Federation of Classified Employees, AVC FCE, and Antelope Valley Community College District for the 23-25 holiday schedule. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes, Madam President. I want to thank the college for established Cesar Chavez birthday holiday.
And advice?
I approve.
All those in favor?
Aye.
14.11, approval of the Antelope Valley Community College District at ABCCD and Antelope Valley Federation of Classified Employees, AVCFCE 23-24 revised classification process timeline. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Any discussion? Advice?
I approve.
All those in favor?
Aye.
14.12, approval of academic policies and procedures, AP&P committee's recommendations of course listings. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Any discussion? Advice?
I approve.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. 14.13, approval of local agreement for child development services for fiscal year 23-24. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Any discussion? Advice?
I approve.
All those in favor?
Aye.
14.14, approval of amendment of contract between Lamar Advertising and Antelope Valley Community College for CTE marketing. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes, Madam President. In April, we allocated $66,000 for 4 months of 10 signs on the freeway and throughout the community. Now we're asked to allocate $76,000 for 4 months, 6 signs. And if anyone has seen those signs, they are not legible. The print is small. You don't have to take my word for it. Go on the freeway, you can see it. You can't read them. So I think we need to reevaluate those signs, see if there can be some improvement on the signage before we spend $76,000. Thank you.
Advice?
I approve.
All those in favor?
Aye.
No.
Thank you. Motion passes. 14.15, approval of amendment number 2 of professional services agreement between Robert Hayes, DDS, Valleywide Dental Corporation Incorporated, and Antelope Valley Community College District. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Any discussion?
Yes, Madam President. This is approval amendment number 2, professional service between the doctor and the college, and this is for $100,000. Has anybody come up with a number of students that utilize this service, and does it merit that type of funding?
So this funding is, this is paid for through student health fees. And so the contract is being extended because of its extensive use. If you wish precise numbers, I can get that from the dean in charge.
Okay, thank you.
Advice?
I approve.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. 14.16, approval of agreement between UC Davis Center for Integrated Computing and STEM Education, CSTEM, and Antelope Valley Community College District for Ujima Girls Robotics Leadership Summer Camp. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Any discussion? Advice?
I approve.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. 14.17, approval of data sharing usage agreement between Antelope Valley Union High School District and Antelope Valley College for enrollment access for prospective students and dually or concurrently enrolled students. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Any discussion? Advice?
I approve.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, board members, I would like to, if you will observe 14.18 down to 14.23 are all centered around the nursing program. I would like to combine those for one motion for approval. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Any discussion?
Yes, Madam President. 14.18 is the approval of memorandum of understanding between Grand Canyon University and Antelope Valley College for nursing field experience. Grand Canyon University is primarily an online university, isn't it?
There's a physical campus in Arizona, Mr. Reeves. I've been there.
So how can our nurses get?
So,
field
Mr. Reeves,
experience?
it's for a Grand Canyon University nursing student, and we're going to oversee their clinical, a single individual student.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion? Advice?
I approve.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, 14.24, approval of confidentiality and non-disclosure agreement between Lockheed Martin and Antelope Valley Community College. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Any discussion? Advice?
I approve.
All those in favor?
Aye.
14.25, approval of district's 5-year construction plan. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Any discussion?
Yes, so what is the 5-year construction?
Sir, the item was attached. Shami, if you have a brief summary.
It's a plan that we submit annually to the Chancellor's Office, outlining the projects that we have planned for construction. It's run out of our database, Fusion database system, and we also include any future projects that we have coming on. So we report that to the Chancellor annually.
Thank you.
Okay. Advice?
I approve.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. 14.26, approval of services agreement between Desert Haven Enterprises and Antelope Valley Community College for custodial services at Fox Field and the Palmdale Center. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Any discussion? Advice?
I approve.
All those in favor?
Aye.
14.27, approval of services agreement between North State Environmental and Antelope Valley Community College contract for removal of hazardous waste. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Any discussion? Advice?
I approve.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. 14.28, approval of a 5-year software renewal agreement with Elucian. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Any discussion? Advice?
I approve.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. 14.29, approval to purchase network equipment with NE Systems Incorporated for emergency blue phone towers. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Any discussion? Advice?
I approve.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. 14.30, approval to utilize the California Multiple Awards Schedule, CMAS, with Golden State Technology Incorporated, doing business as GST, for the purchase of information technology, goods, and services. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes, President Gaines, I know you meant Golden Star when you said Golden State, but I wanted to be clear for the vote.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Golden Star. Any other discussion? Advice?
I approve.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. 14.31, approval to utilize the Foundation for California Community Colleges Master Agreement with Waxy's Enterprise LLC, doing business as Waxy Sanitary Supply Master Agreement through the Foundation for California Community Colleges. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Any discussion? Advice?
I approve.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. 14.32, approval to extend the use of the University of California and National Intergovernmental Purchasing Alliance cooperative agreement with Fastenal Company for the purchase of maintenance, repair, and operations supplies and related services. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Any discussion? Advice?
I approve.
Motion carries. 14.3. I'm sorry. Am I jumping the gun here or what? I'm sorry. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Sorry, wrong day. 14.33, approval to extend the use of the University of California and National Intergovernmental Purchasing Alliance cooperative agreement with W.W. Granger Incorporated for the purchase of maintenance, repair, and operations, supplies, and related services. Do I have a motion?
So second.
Any discussion? Advice?
I approve.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. 14.34, approval for field contract for services with Christian Bell Electric Incorporated for Foxfield Room 102 Electrical Upgrade Project number 23-029. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Any discussion? Advice?
I approve.
All those in favor? Motion carries. Board members, I'd like to block 1435 and 14.36 as they both deal with scheduled maintenance. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Any discussion? Advice?
I approve.
All those in favor? Motion carries. Board members, at this time, I'd like to group 14.37 all the way through to 14.50. These are all action items related to Measure AV funds. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Any discussion?
Yes, Madam President. Aren't the contractors responsible for their own construction trailers, or are we providing construction trailers for them?
We do not supply trailers to contractors. We supply the trailers to the construction management team and to the inspectors. That's required by contract.
Any more discussion? Advice?
I approve.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, informational items, board members, we have 15.1 through 15.5 for you to read as informational items. Okay, reports and announcements. Academic Senate, Tamara Palmetto.
I don't have much of a report this evening, just that the business keeps going. We've done a lot of exec out of session meetings to keep equivalencies and minimum qual things kind of going. So as we go through this hiring process, we have 2 people going to the ASCCC Leadership Conference. We're very excited about that. So we'll have some stuff to report back to you. And that's about it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. 16.2, Dr. Jason Bowen, College Federation of Teachers.
Hi, I'm not Dr. Jason
You are
Bowen.
not.
I'm in his stead tonight. So first of all, I'd like to say that the Federation is very appreciative that there's been an effort to resolve disciplinary issues at the lowest level. We really appreciate the attempt to correct problems rather than to simply punish. And this is a very refreshing change from how things have been. So thank you, Dr. Zalet. We much appreciated. I'd also like to thank Pam Ford and the Classified Union. We're both, as you know, both unions are in negotiations with the CBA, and we've done a lot of collaboration, and it's really been valuable, I think, for everyone. As you know, there's several MOUs that were approved tonight. So regarding faculty evaluation, we have agreed to do a reopener on that because that is a huge article and both sides really want to get it right. So we want to get something in place so we're not going back to what we did before. But the collaboration has been really fantastic. Also, we are very appreciative with the MOU reinstating intercession. We appreciate the swift resolution to the PERB settlement. And again, thank you, President Zalet, for making that happen. And then finally, I'd like to thank Bridget Cook and the negotiations team. We've made significant progress towards resolving the CBA. I'm hoping we will be, as everyone else is, hoping that we'll be done soon. But both sides have been compromised and collaborating, and I think we're in a really good place moving forward. We've agreed to put a hold on some things so that we can work together to solve problems. So thank you all.
Thank you. Antelope Valley College Federation of Classified Employees, Ms. Pamela Ford.
Good evening again. It was interesting discussion tonight with the evaluations and all that. And I just want to tell you, I understand what you're going through. Classified have angst over that all the time. But I will say one piece of advice to all of you. Even a broken clock is right twice a day. So you do have to give some consideration to some concerns. Okay, moving on. Congratulations to the retirees. Let's see, I want to talk about classified recognition. It was a great event, and I love the fact that the majority of the administrators were very engaged in it, and classified were very pleased. Negotiations are in progress, and our hope is to settle soon. We too have pulled some items off the table so that we can get down to the nuts and bolts of things that need to be done, and we'll carry some things over to the next negotiation session. And I'm very appreciative of Bridget Cook and Jennifer for working with us to try to get to a good place so that we can get this resolved. I'm tired of the table. I'm ready to move on to other things. On June 27th at 2 p.m., there will be a tour of the Student Services Building for retirees. It's a group of retirees who, a bunch of them retired, and I think Michael remembers this, and maybe Steve, retired in 2008. And so every year they get together for this event called Same Time Next Year. And so when they found out the Student Services Building was over, of course, they wanted to see it. And so I think it was Rosemary, Dr. Kirky's administrative assistant, who asked. She was a former administrative assistant for the president's office, so she had asked. And so they tasked me with getting this done, and thank goodness for Dr. Zealot. She supports it, and I'm grateful to the student services directors and deans and so forth, because we got our first donation today from for the swag bag, which Patty had already put a bunch together. So I'm really excited. It's really fun getting together with them. Isn't it odd how retirees look so much younger? Let's see. For those of you who have known Gloria Kastner, she used to be, I can't remember her position, but she was in academic affairs. She is not doing well. She's been struggling with cancer for quite a few years. And for those of you who knew her, I just wanted to bring it to your attention because I have her contact information if you want to reach out to her. And this might be a good time to do so. I'm looking forward to whatever endeavors are coming forward for us to do so that we can get some things accomplished. I'm excited, hopefully, that at some point we'll get this PERB settled. I feel like that's become my name instead of who I am, and I'd like to put it behind me. So with that settled in negotiations, I think we can move on to bigger and better things. So you all have a good evening.
Thank you. And I believe Ms. Hernandez is not here this evening. So Steve Benitez.
Evening, board. Nothing to report at the moment, but I just wanted to give my congratulations for the retirees. I saw Nancy's name on one of them, and I had a few. Well, it was a vague memory. We were trying to restock the day bag, so we went all the way to the stadium to pick up some of the frozen foods to bring back to the student center to give some food in the day bags. But I just wanted to say congrats to the retirees, and yeah.
Diane Campbell's not here. So, oh, you're here for Diane? I'm sorry. Yes, please.
I just want to say that the Academic Senate is very sad to lose our legislative officer. Dr. Jedediah Lobos is going to be the new dean of math, science, and engineering, and congratulations. And we're very sad to lose you in the Senate. Congratulations.
Thank you. Okay, Office of the Superintendent President.
So Tamira, you stole my thunder, but that's okay. I'll share. Good evening, Board of Trustees and Student Trustee. I'm excited this evening to share good news about enrollments for summer and for fall. The chart, the board has a paper and they can see some figures, but I'll tell them to the rest of you. FTES and unduplicated headcount for summer and fall sessions are over what they have been for the last 2 years. So for summer, our FTES this year are so far are 1,177. In 22, they were 976. In 2021, they were 986. And our unduplicated headcount is the highest of those 3 years as well. For fall so far, and we are, I believe, still over, what is it, Howard, 83 days or so until fall begins. We are at 2,710 FTES. Last year at the same day before fall, we were at 2,382 FTES. 2021 was no fair comparison at this point because we had a much later start date for our registration. So I'm not going to bring up 2021 at this point. But our unduplicated head count follows the same pattern. For fall this year, we are at 7,983. Last year, we were at 6,900. So our enrollments on our FTES are going in the right direction. We want to continue that pattern and we want to encourage our students and serve them how we can. I'm impressed with the efforts to increase enrollments by the counselors and the folks at the call center in Palmdale. They reach out to students who have submitted interest cards but not yet enrolled, have been accepted and not yet enrolled, or somehow not fully completed the process. So I now have a laundry list of all of the great things that are happening. Last week, our Palmdale Center hosted the annual block party. It was very well attended. I heard more than last year, and the weather was amazing. I'm so proud of the teamwork exhibited to pull this off. If you have been, you know what it takes over the whole parking lot of the shopping center, and it takes just a whole crew to make it happen. So from facilities to classified professionals to everyone, thank you for making it happen. State of the College and the Cedar Hall groundbreaking ceremony was last Thursday, and the event was here at the Performing Arts Theater to begin, and it was very well attended. Community and industry partners, members of the President's Advisory Council, as well as the Measure AV Bond Oversight Committee and AVC board and employees were all in attendance. The presentation was well received, and many thanks to Julie Drake and the AV Press for giving us a couple of wonderful stories and helping us get the good news about the college further out. Thank you, Julie. I appreciate your help. This month, AVC celebrates Pride with our LGBTQIA plus students. There are events posted on the page for the Pride Center, and there are local events in which we can participate. On Monday, June 19th, Antelope Valley College will be closed in observance of Juneteenth Freedom Day. This last year, both bargaining units worked with the district to add holidays to the calendar, and this year I encourage us all to seek out events and celebrate. Achieving the Dream Kickoff Institute. Right now, an 8-member team is already in Milwaukee, and I will join them after the meeting tonight. I'm taking a red-eye flight there, and we are going there to meet our coaches for our next 3-year journey. We were one of 10 community colleges in the whole United States chosen to participate in the Achieving Equitable Outcomes project. It's quite an honor, and we are super excited about taking full advantage of that opportunity. Hiring. Thank you to the Board of Trustees for walking a long journey this year as we fill out our ranks. Tonight, we welcome our newly appointed Assistant Superintendent, Vice President of HR, Dr. Lauren Helsper, and Assistant Superintendent, Vice President of Academic Affairs, Dr. Kathy Bakeet, to the team. Thank you. We also welcome 2 new deans. We have Dean Van Ryder, Workforce Development and Community Engagement, and Dean Jedediah Lobos, Math, Science, and Engineering. Welcome to the team. And with the 2 deans, I'm very, very proud that AVC really, it's proof of the leadership that our faculty grow in themselves as they work in Academic Senate and in the union and in these different organizations, such that their talents then help them grow up in their career into deanships. In addition to these wonderful hires, we are in the midst of hiring 17 tenure track faculty and multiple positions for classified professionals. I can always talk at length about the college and the great work, but tonight we have 2 people whose roles will be changing. When Van Ryder left the Academic Senate for the interim dean position, Tamara Palmetto Despain rose to the occasion with Brian Palagallo and Mark McGovern. They have led the Senate well, and they are a thoughtful team whose company and leadership I have enjoyed. Tonight was Tamara's last report to the board as president, and next month Hal Huntsman will step into his role. Tamara, I want to thank you for working tirelessly and being such a wonderful companion on this journey. Thank you. That's it. And I want to end with special thanks for our interim assistant superintendent, vice president of academic affairs, Dr. Howard Davis. From day one, and I do mean it, day one, Dr. Davis was the truth teller on the executive team. I remember our first meeting discussing a certain topic with the team, and I asked their opinion about the impact of that decision on campus culture. Dr. Davis spoke boldly and honestly, and he earned my respect in that moment. In this past year, he has continued to do great work, lead with empathy and courage, and do more than just keep things going. Howard, you're a talented VP who leads with integrity, and you are always welcome here. Thank you for your service to this college. This concludes my report to the board. Thank you and good evening.
Thank you, Dr. Sallet. All right, board members. Anthony?
Good evening, everyone. First, I'd like to extend my congratulations to all the retirees. We all know how hard they've worked for this, and AVC wouldn't be where it is right now without them. So thank you for all they did. I think they all left because they're pretty tired. But I'd also move on to the groundbreaking this past Thursday. It was a great event. And I like to say that I'm very excited to see the development of the new Cedar Hall. I'm excited to go in there when it's completed as a student. And I just like to say I've been working with Corey Barnes and Dr. Zealot, and I'm hoping to rise and be part of you guys as the board. Thank you.
You mentioned Rosemary Jensen, and I believe Rosemary goes clear back to Dr. Stein, and that's a few years ago. So she served the college under several presidents, I believe. And I think Rich Sims, and we should check on this, is probably the longest term employee ever here. I mean, 1967 till now. And I met him back in 1967, that first week. So, and I thought the program was really, the state of college was really good. And I was stunned. Howard really brought the energy. I'm impressed. You must have been a former cheerleader, right? In the building over there, I was sad in some ways to see that building go. I was happy to see it go. There's a lot of history. There's a lot of stories. If you ever want to hear any of them, I'll be glad to tell them, or Fred Thompson will be glad to tell you. And there's a lot of interesting stories. And that's all for now.
Michael?
First of all, I want to thank Howard Davis, our Vice President. He is universally liked all over this campus. And I wish him well in his retirement. And as far as I'm concerned, any day you want to come back, Howard, you're welcome. And I want to congratulate all the retired people who are going to get to take a vacation finally. And thank you all for attending tonight.
Michael?
Thank you, Howard, for stepping in when we needed someone desperately to step in and step up. You did a great job, and I hope you enjoy your retirement. You've earned it. Congratulations to our two new vice presidents. We are happy to have you on board finally, and I think this fills out Jennifer's team now. And so I'm looking forward to a lot of accomplishments from that team, and just know that you have the support of the board.
I just want to say good evening and thank you so much for the opportunity to serve. It's quite an honor. I look forward to working with all of you under the leadership of yourselves and Dr. Zilla. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Harvey.
Yes, I was 3 years old and Rich Sims showed up to Antelope Valley College and he retired today. So that is amazing to me. It's something to be said for a life of dedication to something. So I think that's really amazing. You know, I thought about some of the conversation tonight, and when I ran for office, some of my girlfriends got together and made a commercial for me. You will never believe, just being a very Southern person, I thought it was hilarious. And I said, okay, if you think this will benefit me. And I'll never forget in writing the script for that, saying that I wanted this position to be able to support nursing and bioscience technology, the aerospace industry, because it's so important to our state, not just our area. And every time that I'm in a board meeting and I vote to do something with Measure AV or reading items the week before or a service that may uplift a program, I feel that I'm doing what District 1 elected me to do. So with that, I hope that I am serving the district well. I believe that this is a caring board, a passionate board about the future of this college. And for that reason, I believe that the Antelope Valley is very lucky to have this team. Thank you.
Okay. I too want to congratulate all of their retirees. Rich Sims, I actually was one of my instructors. So when you were just being a kid, apparently I was a little older, not much. I was here and I had him, and yeah, it's just an amazing thing to see someone who's dedicated that much of their life to one entity. Yeah, it's just there's just really no words I can say to all the retirees. Thank you for your service to Antelope Valley Community College. It's amazing. To Dr. Davis, I want to say thank you so much, Dr. Davis. you were definitely a plus to this entire community college, your service and just being able to approach you with things. Just thank you so much. You will be missed for sure. And I want to welcome both of our two new vice presidents. We're just a fun group. Can you just tell? I hope we don't run you out. Just stick around, really. It'll be okay. Yes, thank you. And I just want to say to Dr. Sullett, have a safe trip tonight as you head into the dark skies. And that's pretty much it for me. We will have our next board meeting on July the 10th. And so we will adjourn this meeting at 8:15.